Well, okay. Oopsie. Let's see. How do I turn this around?
You are around.
Oh, I am around. Oh, there you are, Dad. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit too close to you, but it'll pick up more of your voice. Can you tell me about that time when you were in New York City and you saw Eisenhower fussing with Mamie?
Well, Eisenhower was someone that that a wide variety of Republicans wanted to have as the Republican candidate for president.
Uh-huh.
And they had to find a suitable place for Eisenhower to a civilian job of some sort, to get him away from the military and have him demonstrate that he could lead the country, not just the military. Okay. And so the solution they found as far as a job for him was president of Columbia University. That's a widely respected university. It had a national audience, and it was in New York, which was an important state to win.
I see.
It had the largest population at that time. I think
That's
California
right.
now
Yeah.
has the largest population. Anyway, he came to there, and all of his activities were programmed by this Republican group that was going to run him for president.
Gotcha.
And he was at Columbia meeting very important people who would come to Columbia, and then he was also going and giving speeches around the country, Texas and California, New York, and.
But tell when you saw him.
What?
Tell about when you saw him at the church.
At the church?
Yeah, you were coming out of Riverside, and he was. Yeah.
I'll get to that shortly. He and I ran into each other. Now, for this reason, there were millions of soldiers coming back from the wars to the United States and being discharged. All right. There was a brief time, well, it wasn't so brief, it was more than a year, when it was difficult for GIs to find clothing.
Oh.
And so many of us wore our Army clothing, which we'd been discharged in. And so I was studying at Columbia, and I would run into Eisenhower being moved around the campus by this group, and he said to me, the first time we met, we ran into each other.
Sure.
He said, "Where did you serve?" And I said, I served in China and Burma and India, the CBI. And he said, I don't know anything about that really. I know much more about Europe, where he was the commanding general, and the Pacific, because I've been talking to my buddy there, MacArthur, and but I don't know a thing about CBI. Sometime you and I got together and tell me what it was like to be in CBI. And so every time we would run into each other, which might be, once a month or twice a month, sometime when he was being herded around Columbia University area, and I was going to my classes at Columbia, and he kept saying, "I've got to talk to you about CBI," and I said, "I'll come anytime you are available." And he wasn't. He just never became available. Well, anyway, the Riverside Church, which was the one that when we were the 3 years we were in, it was in New York, we went to.
Right.
And mainly because my mother was a good friend of the Reverend Fosdick, who was the minister there. And